If you're looking to become a volunteer, look for an organization that has a mission that you're very passionate about. Actually, I was born and raised in Joliet. In fact, I live in the house in which I was raised. After I completed 4 years of active duty in 1979, I returned to Joliet and I went to work for Commonwealth Edison. When I retired from ComEd, I decided to turn my attention to volunteerism here in Joliet, following my father's footsteps and my mother's. Both of them were very active volunteers. It all basically starts after I retired in '02. And I think the first organization that I joined was Project Acclaim. I was attracted to that organization because it had as its mission to highlight the positive aspects of Joliet. And then went on to the Kiwanis Club of Shorewood, later transitioned to the Kiwanis Club Joliet, and then of course the YMCA and the museum after that.
When he joined the YMCA board, we had the chance to see an entirely different side of Nick. His strategic thinking and his supportive nature and his priority on establishing a culture where everyone can thrive was something that really stands out when I think personally about my experience with Nick. And so when you get one Macris, you get them all. And so it's an incredible powerhouse of a family who's willing to stand behind an organization.
Both my wife and daughter are very actively involved in volunteerism here in Joliet. Looking back from my original Y story, I became aware that she actually learned how to swim here at the Gallowitch Y and also was a participant in the youth summer camp here. And one of my favorite programs is our Teen Achiever program, where we work at 7 area high schools and we mentor high school students. When I see these amazing young people and the strides that they've made in their education and their ambitions to go on to college, it is very, very fulfilling for me.
Nick Macris has been on the board of directors here at the museum for almost 5 years now. At the time Nick was coming on the board, we were working to get the Old Joliet Prison Project started. And Nick's background in ComEd, in the military, he was very much a process person.
That had been closed since 2002, and the inside was ravaged by decay, by vandalism, by overgrowth, and so forth. So J.D. Ross, for whom this award is named, and I spearheaded the volunteer labor force that cleaned up the inside of the old Joliet prison. I really had never experienced in the city of Joliet such a community response to a request for volunteer labor.
It was anything but an easy task. There were a lot of hazards on the site. There were people coming in groups of 50 or 100 that you had to make sure you had a good workflow for them. You had to make sure you had duties.
In a matter of months, thanks to these volunteers, that prison was cleaned up to the point that we were able to host the Great Joliet Prison Break-In a matter of months later and had 3,500 attendees visit the prison for that big party.
He's someone who genuinely cares about his city, and I think that speaks to his decisions to get involved with organizations, and it in turn gives us as an organization a responsibility to do right.
He really is this passionate soul who wants to make our community a stronger and better place for everyone.
Well, it's my home, and I want to see it thrive. And I think there's been a lot of improvement in Joliet. I think there's a whole lot more that can be realized. So that's my motivation.